Good Monday evening. I hope you had a great weekend and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top news stories, as always, let's head outside and take a look outside our weather window from this afternoon. And wasn't a bad day, was it? After a very snowy and pretty chilly weekend, picked up a good amount of snow, around 7 to 8 inches in a lot of places. A beautiful white coat of snow for our neighbors in Kashmir as we take a look from our Steins Hill Sky-Fi tower camera provided by Localtel. And all of us, a nice blanket of white. And boy, it extends all the way over into the Spokane area. Seattle picked up about a foot of snow. We're going to see kind of a roller coaster ride of weather through the week. And then as we get into the weekend, our air is going to warm up and our precipitation will change over to rain. In fact, we could see possibly locally heavy rain at times. I'm not so confident that we're going to see those gusty winds, but keep an eye on those streams as we get into the upcoming weekend. And we'll talk more about your weather for the week ahead a little bit later on. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. A Tri-Cities man is accused of dumping his former girlfriend's car in the Columbia River in an act of domestic abuse. A state hearing officer ruled last week that Chelan County discriminated against former sheriff's deputy Jennifer Tyler. And state Senate committees have passed wildfire legislation sponsored by Brad Hawkins. But first, we begin tonight. A 20-year-old Omak man faces vehicular homicide, vehicular assault, and driving under the influence charges after the 1998 Ford F150 pickup he was driving rolled on Highway 155 early Saturday morning. That killed a 15-year-old passenger. The Washington State Patrol says Martin T. Stanley was driving northbound toward Omak about 1:10 a.m. When his pickup left the roadway to the right, he overcorrected and the vehicle rolled off the northbound shoulder, coming to a rest on its top. An unidentified 15-year-old Omak girl was dead at the scene. Another passenger, 18-year-old Michael Timawantwa of Omak, and Stanley were both transported to Mid-Valley Hospital in Omak with undisclosed injuries. Stanley was wearing a seatbelt, but the girl and Timawantwa were not, the State Patrol said. In other news, a Tri-Cities man is accused of dumping his former girlfriend's car in the Columbia River in an act of domestic abuse. 29-year-old Angel Zavala was charged Friday with taking a motor vehicle and malicious mischief for allegedly taking the keys to the woman's Volkswagen Passat, driving from East Wenatchee to a boat launch near Rock Island, and then leaving the car in gear and pushing it into the water. The incident happened on December 19th, but Douglas County Sheriff's deputies weren't able to locate Zavala for arrest at the time. His case was due for a first hearing this week in Superior Court. Well, a state hearing officer ruled last week that Chelan County discriminated against former sheriff's deputy Jennifer Tyler when it suspended her for 3 days over her activity in a deputy's union election process. The ruling from the Public Employment Relations Commission orders the sheriff's office to rescind the suspension and pay Tyler back wages and benefits. The decision stems from a grievance filed by the Chelan County Sheriff's Association, which argued that Sheriff Brian Burnett interfered with union activities when he suspended Tyler in 2018. Sheriff's administrators suspended Tyler because she'd complained by email about a candidate in an upcoming union election. The commission says the suspension amounts to discrimination and collective bargaining. Burnett later fired Tyler for alleged workplace violations. She has filed a separate lawsuit over that dismissal. Well, a bill pushed by 12th District Senator Brad Hawkins got a boost on Monday, passing the Senate Ways and Means Committee almost unanimously on its way to the floor. The bill would adopt recommendations from a state task force requiring electric utilities and the Department of Natural Resources to better cooperate in the response to and prevention of wildfires. Utilities in Washington are often at risk of losing equipment to wildfires, and sometimes their equipment contributed to those fires. The bill now moves to the Senate Rules Committee with the recommendation that it pass for a full vote. Well, coming up next, Washington passed a milestone Friday for COVID-19 vaccinations, and it happened right here in Wenatchee. Saying there was a hospital reporting error on COVID-19 admissions, the state said Saturday that the South Central region can now join the rest of the state in moving to Phase 2 of Governor Jay Inslee's reopening plan. And Leavenworth envisions what to do with the old Osborne school property. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Winter is a great time to trade in your current hot tub. Turn your old hot tub into money with Blue Lagoon Pool & Spa's trade-in program. You can save $500 to $1,000 off of any new artesian spa or take advantage of a free Bluetooth music experience. Blue Lagoon Pool & Spa recommends draining your hot tub every 3 months. Ask us about our drain and refill special. Stop on by Blue Lagoon Pool & Spa today.
Link Transit is ready when you are. With enhanced health and safety measures, we've installed upgraded air purifiers and safety partitions between drivers and passengers. Plus, the interior of all of our buses are thoroughly cleaned and disinfected every day. When riding Link Transit, please remember to wear a mask, maintain physical distance, sign up for transit alerts, and stay home if you are sick. Healthier transit is here. Go to linktransit.com to learn more.
I'm Tom from Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. At Alpine Air, we think of ourselves as customer service-oriented retailers. When you make an appointment, please visit our store, meet our people, see our shop. We are serious about heating and air conditioning. Carrier and Alpine Air are offering huge factory rebates and financing options for all your needs. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Call for your free replacement estimate. Heat and air, call Alpine Air, 662-6846.
Welcome back. In other news, Washington passed a milestone on Friday for COVID-19 vaccinations, and it happened right here in Wenatchee. Ruby, a 90-year-old East Wenatchee resident, was the 1 millionth client in the state to receive her vaccine. Ruby, whose full name wasn't disclosed, got her inoculation at the Town Toyota Center mass vaccination site. Workers and volunteers at the drive-in clinic put on a little celebration to mark the event. And as part of her recognition, Ruby gets Wenatchee Wild VIP tickets, a lifetime pass on Washington State's ferry system, and when the Apple Blossom Grand Parade rides again, she'll have a special passenger seat. Well, saying there was a hospital reporting error on COVID-19 admissions, the state said Saturday that the South Central region can join the rest of the state in moving to Phase 2 of Governor Jay Inslee's reopening plan. That region includes Ellensburg, Yakima, the Tri-Cities, and Walla Walla. The State Department of Health said Providence St. Mary Medical Center in Walla Walla discovered the error on Friday and immediately reported it to the state. The corrected numbers allowed the region to meet 3 of the 4 metrics needed to move to Phase 2. The state had announced Thursday that all remaining Phase 1 regions would move to Phase 2, with the exception of that South Central region. Well, in other news, the city of Leavenworth is brainstorming how to use its newest piece of property. The old Osborne Elementary School and its grounds will soon be transferred to city ownership from the Cascade School District. The city held its first virtual meeting Saturday on how best to use the building and its surrounding acreage. Suggestions from about 50 community members ran the gamut from recreational uses and business development to nonprofit space and mixed uses, including new housing. The city is still taking comment on the redevelopment. The school building on Central Avenue was constructed in 1960. Leavenworth students now take classes at the new Alpine Lakes Elementary. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Please stay with us.
At Winco, we're working to save you money. Every aisle, every department, every day. Winco.
Mary Maids of Wenatchee has been professionally cleaning and sanitizing homes and businesses in North Central Washington since 1998. Mary Maids uses commercial-grade cleaners and viricides. Mary Maids has implemented additional safety and sanitation protocols. They are strictly following CDC guidelines for the safety of their clients and employees. For expert help with cleaning and sanitizing your home or business, call or look up Mary Maids of Wenatchee to schedule your free estimate today.
At Winco, we do everything, everything to save you money. Winco.
Her Royal Highness, Queen Tess Marks.
Join the NCWLIFE channel for coverage of the Kashmir Valley Bank Royalty Selection Pageant Saturday, February 27th. The countdown to coronation begins at 6 with the pageant to follow at 7. Coverage is sponsored by Confluence Health, Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa, and Caldwell Banker Cascade. The Kashmir Valley Bank Royalty Selection Pageant is available only on the NCWLIFE channel, your local TV station.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. Well, if you were traveling, you know it was rough going on Snoqualmie Pass and Stevens Pass over the President's Day weekend, and that continued into today. In tonight's feature story, photos from the Washington State Department of Transportation and Washington State Patrol show just some of what motorists, road crews, and emergency responders had to deal with. Time now for a check of your north central Washington weather forecast. Man, it was a lot of snow, wasn't it, over the weekend? The passes and areas like Wenatchee and Moses Lake, we usually are caught up in that rain shadow and don't catch a lot of snow. This time we did. Moses Lake about 6.5 inches of snow and about 7 inches of snow total here in the Wenatchee area. A lot of snow up in Kashmir too as we look down on the town of Kashmir from our Sky-Fi tower camera, and that's our Stein Hills camera. And boy, with the blue sky and the new coating of snow. Beautiful out there today. You could tell, too, temperatures just edged up somewhat today. Unofficial high temperature at Pangbourne Airport. How about that? 36 degrees. It was just a week ago. We were struggling to get out of 20 degrees. 42 is our normal high temperature now. We started off the day pretty cool, though, at 16, well below where we should be at 28 degrees. And how about that record high? Beautiful, isn't it? 63 in 1977. 1993, not so nice. Record low, 14 degrees. Okay, over the weekend, almost 3/10 of an inch of moisture out of that snow Friday into Saturday, and then Sunday night into Monday. That brings our yearly total now to 1.94. And with that new snow, we jumped up now just under 14 inches of snow for the season, which goes back to about October 1st. Sunrise this morning, 7:04, and the sun will set at 5:27, almost 5:30 now. Isn't it nice? Forecast for Wednesday as we get you into the middle part of the week. It's going to warm up out there. We'll see a break in the wet stuff, a lot like today, a mix of clouds and sun. Upper 30s in the Columbia Basin, Moses Lake 38, Quincy 39. A little warmer back in the Wenatchee Valley, very unusual. 41 in Wenatchee, 40 in Eniat, and the high temperature up in Omak, also a very nice 40 degrees. Slightly below normal, but I think most of us will take it, that's for sure. Tonight, patchy fog developing. We could see that right here in the Wenatchee area, and then clearing skies as we get later into the early morning hours. And here's the area of concerns as far as fog, the Cascades, and maybe over in the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene areas. And then as we get into your Wednesday, we just talked about it, sunny skies, a light breeze. Here we are, a beautiful spot to be in for Wednesday. Warmer with high temperatures, as we just showed you, near about 40 degrees. But our next weather maker right here in the Pacific. And by the time we get into Thursday, this will be late in the day and in our evening hours on Thursday. A 60% chance, I think mainly snow on Thursday. It will be a little bit cooler with highs only in the mid-30s. And then on Friday, mostly cloudy as that system moves through. About a 30% chance for maybe a leftover morning snow shower. It will warm up a little bit on Friday too, once again into the upper 30s to near 40. And by the time we get into the weekend on Saturday, mostly cloudy, maybe an isolated rain shower. Wouldn't worry about it too much. And we're going to warm up into the lower and mid-40s on Saturday. It's going to be a beautiful one. And then by Sunday, the end of the weekend, we're going to really see that warm up happen. Mostly cloudy. It will be about a 50% chance of rain, but notice the flow of air coming from the southwest, and that's why we'll see rain. And now look at the yellows and the greens on our map, and that indicates warmer weather, and we will definitely see that by Monday. Talking about mostly cloudy skies, a chance for some rain, especially to our north and northwest. Unseasonably warm Monday. Check out that map. We're talking highs near 50 degrees. Let's take a look now at your 7-day forecast. Tonight we'll drop down to 26 degrees for an overnight low, back to about where we should be. 41 and sunny for Wednesday, and then that rainy period late Thursday, early Friday, before we warm up again as we get into Saturday. Partly cloudy and 43, a 50% chance for rain on both Sunday and Monday with high temperatures. Check that out, upper 40s to near 50 degrees. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
Doghouse Motorsports just won Best Motorsports Store for the 7th year in a row. Is it the great facility? Is it the fantastic products? Or is it?
I'm Bobby.
And I'm Tamer.
I'm Mike.
And I'm Glenn.
Hi, I'm Todd.
I'm Jeff.
And this is the Doghouse Service Team.
Hi, I'm Dee.
And I'm Dwayne.
And I'm Kathy.
Come on in and experience the Doghouse.
Are you in the Doghouse?
Nice fish. Yeah, that's a beauty. We'll take that one. Whew. Oh boy, that hillside is steep.
Worksharp presents the Northwest Outdoorsman.
Watch for new episodes of the Northwest Outdoorsman on the NCWLIFE channel, your local TV station.
In a world afraid of technology, one man, one show.
We'll bring you the newest innovations that may just change your life. This summer, Ray McNeil, and your Weekly Tech Update is your Weekly Tech Update with Ray McNeil.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a happy Tuesday to you. Today's the first day high school football teams in the area can begin practice after a 10-month COVID shutdown. Before the Eastmont Wildcats could hit the field today, players, parents, and coaches spent hours yesterday removing snow from the practice fields. Mother Nature can't keep these athletes from returning to the field after a pandemic shutdown all athletics in Washington State back in March. The girls' soccer team can't begin practice until next Monday, but players and parents showed up to do snow removal on their practice fields as well. We'll start broadcasting here on the NCWLIFE channel on Thursday, March 4th with girls swim and dive meet between Eastmont, Wenatchee, and Moses Lake and Eastmont's Aquatic Center. Well, it's been a while since we've been together, so let's catch up on what happened in sports. Going back to Saturday men's college basketball, we'll start it off there. Number 1 ranked Gonzaga posted its 20th win of the season for the 24th straight year with a big 100-61 whitewashing of San Francisco. Drew Timme scored 28 points, had 10 rebounds to help the Bulldogs improve to 20-0 on the season. Corey Kispert and Joel Ayayi each had 12 for GU, playing its 6th straight road game during a topsy-turvy pandemic. Aaron Cook also came off the bench to score 12 for Gonzaga in the win. Taj Edey scored a season-high 29 points, and USC topped Washington State 76-65. Coach Kyle Smith said Edey's play and the Cougars' inability to score from outside was the difference in the game.
Tough one tonight. I thought we competed pretty well. It's hard to beat someone when you go 3 for 25 from 3. They're top 15 team on all the metrics and that. And I thought we did a really good job second half trying to slow them down, and just weren't able to make enough shots and weren't able to defend Edey well enough. Obviously, he got loose, and that really helped them out. He's just a really good shooter. He's slippery. He's hard to, I don't know. He doesn't need much space to make a shot, and he's pretty comfortable doing that. He's much more comfortable at SC. I've always said the WCC is a really good league because he couldn't start at Santa Clara. He's maybe an all-league player, certainly against us. But just his ability can really, really shoot the ball. So that helped them out a lot.
Also in Seattle on Saturday, the Huskies nearly knocked off UCLA, but ended up just short, 64-61. Marcus Sahonis came off the bench to spark Washington with 22 points, while Kade Green had 14. Washington traveled in snowy conditions Monday to play Washington State in Pullman, and even though both teams struggled offensively, finish was a classic. WSU's Noah Williams raced the length of the court and scored on a layup with 10 seconds to go. That tied the game at 63. Washington had no timeout, so Sahonis drove the lane and made a floater with 2.4 seconds left. That gave the Huskies a 2-point lead. Williams' half-court heave at the buzzer banged off the backboard, and Washington came away with a 65-63 win. Sahonis had a career-high 29 points for the Huskies, while Eric Stevenson had 18. Jazz Coots had 18 points for Washington State, while Deshaun Jackson scored 14. WSU played without Isaac Bonton due to illness, and Washington was without Kade Green because of an ankle. Cougar coach Kyle Smith says Bonton's absence was certainly felt.
Yeah, a little bit of a stinger there tonight. Spotted them 10 in the first half and turned it over 13 times. So, some of not having Isaac was probably attributed some of that, but they didn't have their guy either. And we missed Isaac more defensively than anything else. But you feel like you turn over 19 times, you're beating yourself a bit. But credit to them, their guards, Sahonis and Stevenson played great, and Sahonis made a big play at the end of the game. But we're proud of our guys. We battled back second half and had an opportunity there to get that thing to overtime. Noah made a big layup, and just wasn't meant to be.
Looking ahead, Gonzaga will hit the floor again Thursday in Spokane when it hosts St. Mary's at 6. Also Thursday, Washington State entertains Cal at 7:30 on the Pac-12 Network, while Stanford plays at Washington at 8 on FS1. Then on Saturday, it's a 1 o'clock tip for the Cardinal and Cougars in Pullman on ESPNU. Gonzaga hosts San Diego Saturday at 5 on ESPN2. Huskies and Bears play in Seattle at 7 o'clock on ESPNU. Circling back to Friday, we'll start where the rundown on women's college basketball. Right there, free throws were were the difference between Washington State and Arizona as the 10th-ranked Wildcats won 60-51. The home team made 14 of 17 shots from the charity stripe to seal the victory. Arizona State was the home team against Washington, but it seemed the Sun Devils were playing out in the snow. Shot just 12 for 58 for the game, falling to the Huskies 50-35. ASU had just 2 points at the end of the first quarter. Quay Miller and Timaeus Sadler each had 10 points to lead Washington. On Saturday, 17th-ranked Gonzaga remained unbeaten in West Coast Conference play with a 67-50 win over Santa Clara. Jen Worth and Leanne Worth and Melody Campton each had 12 points for the Bulldogs. Sunday, 10th-ranked Arizona had no trouble dispatching Washington 75-53. Wildcats had 2 starters with 20 points apiece. Quay Miller led the Huskies with 13 points. Arizona State held off a late rally from Washington State down the Cougars 67-61. Charlize Ledger-Walker led all scorers with 29 points. Coach Cammie Etheridge says her team struggled defensively Sunday, which played a big difference in that ball game. We're going to get to more of the hoops coming up a little bit later on this week. Now, speaking of, the women's basketball schedule looks like this after having its game postponed Sunday due to COVID. 3rd-ranked Louisville travels to Pitt at 4 o'clock. 16th-ranked Gonzaga plays BYU at 5. That's all on Thursday. Pac-12 Friday, Washington State hosts Colorado at noon, while Utah plays at Washington at 7 o'clock. Lady Bulldogs play at San Diego Saturday at 2. Then on Sunday, Washington State entertains Utah at noon, while the Buffaloes visit the Huskies at 2 o'clock. As pitchers and catchers prepare to report to Peoria. Boy, that's a lot of P's in there. To begin spring training for the Mariners, a familiar face will also make a return. James Paxton tweeted Sunday he's super excited to rejoin the franchise where he started his professional career. The Big Maple agreed to terms on a 1-year deal with Seattle for the 2021 season pending a physical. Club has not confirmed the deal, but did post a link to the story on its website, so pretty much a done deal. Paxton has spent the last 2 seasons with the Yankees while battling some injuries. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Grantstrom. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, Eric. And we leave you tonight with what else? A feel-good story. On the job since just November, Ellensburg police officer Taylor Malmstrom is one of the newest members of the force. The Marine Corps combat veteran who graduated at the top of his academy continued to impress Monday when he was on patrol and spotted an elderly woman shoveling snow from her driveway. Malmstrom said she seemed to be doing fine on her own, but he quickly jumped in to lend a hand anyway. And if you have a video of the day that you'd like to see on the NCW Life Evening News, message us on our Facebook page at the NCW Life channel. Now let's check in with Dan Kuntz for a look at what's coming up tomorrow morning on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Dan?
Thank you, Grant. Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Let's go golfing. Now, metaphysically speaking, of course, the First Tee Project is returning for a 3rd year here in North Central Washington. And Lynn Miller, who's one of the organizers of the First Tee Project, will be my guest on Wednesday's edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. The idea is to get youth in our area into the wonderful game of golf. Can't go wrong with that. Lynn will be my guest tomorrow, plus we'll have your forecast, your news, your sports, and everything else you need to start your Wednesday. Tomorrow morning, we are live and we are local. Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll see you then. Grant, back to you.
Thank you, Dan. We'll be watching. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us and have a great night.
At Washington Trust Bank, can't is a 4-letter word.
I think we should hire more people.
Doc, I'm late for a meeting. I'm thinking of starting my own practice.
Do it. Too much capital.
We need a warehouse.
I can't imagine how we do that.
We should knock that wall down and expand.
Do it. There's always another wall beyond the wall.
We believe you can do whatever you set your mind to, and we'll help you get there. Washington Trust Bank, privately owned, locally invested.
Hey folks, Carrie from Blueberry Hills. A chill is in the air and it's a perfect time for some old-fashioned comfort food like our amazing Eggs Benedict, chicken fried steak, French dips, soups made from scratch, or fruit pies fresh from the oven. The crowds might be gone, but we're still here for you folks. So bring an appetite and a friend to Blueberry Hills in Manson, where you pick, you sit, you eat, and you visit. Open Wednesday through Sunday from 8 to 3. Wildaboutberries.com.